Dear sir, it's a great honor to have you as our chief guest. Please may we have your words captivating our hearts.
Vanakkam. I'd like to thank Montforte School for having us over here for this grand prize night event. I'd like to specifically thank our principal, Bro Dominic, and our teacher, Mr. Suresh Babu, for having us over here. Before starting, I would like to congratulate all the students, those who have won prizes, and equally congratulate all the students who have not won prize, because all those who pass out of Montfort are only success. There is no failure ever from Montfort. And also for the beautiful cultural events that was enthralling, mesmerizing, and as well thought-provoking, I'd like to thank all those who have performed today. I take this opportunity as the chief guest of this prize night, not just as an individual, but as an honor given to the Montfort boys of 95, our Mob 95, Hasta La Vista. So many of our friends have come here, and I would like to take this opportunity as a representation of them, not an individual that I have come here. I take this stage to pay my gratitude to what Montfort has given me in my life, what it has taught me, all the values and ethos that have strongly installed in me. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank, right from my third standard, Miss Ignatius, who was our founding pillar when we entered the school. She had taught so many things that the Montfort boys from her batch would have been remembering all the things that she taught till today. Like for instance, to carry a kerchief. Till today I carry a kerchief with me throughout. That is all just because of Miss Ignatius. I carry a comb because she taught me to. So that was the pronunciation in English, the dictions, the way she used to pronounce, it all brought us a long way. My fourth standard Miss White, during her tenure, there was a science exhibition, and I happened to get the first prize for that science exhibition. I'd like to thank Miss White. In fifth, we had Miss Hookins. She had a pet squirrel with her, which she used to bring to class. Those were very good memories. In class sixth, Miss Audrey Nigley. I was a pet of her, in the sense that you know how doctors' handwriting will be. Yes, my handwriting is one of the worst handwritings. And she was so kind enough to include me in the top 10 handwriting list, even though one of my handwriting was worse during that time. So sixth was Miss Audrey. Then Miss Vairamani, who gave me the first stage, a Tamil teacher, who gave me the first stage in Montfort to perform. Her son is also a classmate, and many of them think that during those days that I was such a pet of her that they used to think I was Miss Vairamani's son. Those were the days. Then Mr. Ernest was our sports master then. And I like to special mention about the band that played today. You all rocked, and even the choir. It was such a beautiful performance, which I think no school can match. During our time too, we had our Mr. David Thompson, who used to come in his Java bike. And the music, I think the little music, now he has a store in Tirunelveli, I think, and he teaches online classes too. He has a musical store. My son Shwithan, who has just finished his 8th grade, he is good in music. I think he'll agree that whatever little I have learnt would have come to him. No, he's nodding his head. He's saying that it is out of his pure talent and thing. And then coming back to, this was in Mayfield, and our art teacher was Mr. Tyagarajan then. And coming to the senior block of 7th standard, 7th class teacher was Mr. Pushparaj, and in 8th, we had our own Mr. Suresh Babu, the way he taught us, just not the maths, how to behave in life, the righteousness, how to be courteous, all that has installed in us, and we have come a long way. He's more of a family friend. He has come for my marriage. I've gone for both of his daughters' marriage. We are more of a family. And then in 8th, in 9th, Mr. Francis. He was one of the coolest teachers that we could ever have. A don't care attitude. that has brought in a lot of optimism in us. I see life only as optimistic. I never have any pessimistic view. That is also, he's also a family friend, and that is because of Mr. Francis. And in ninth, we had Mr. Simon as our class teacher. Bro Simon was there. And in 10th, our English teacher, Mr. Sampath Raj, was there. And then coming to our principals and teachers, I would like to also mention about Ms. Glennie Lawrence, who taught us maths. And it was gracious of her to host us last night at her place in a lawn. We had a party of our friends get together last night. And then Mr. Ravi, a French teacher. It was because of him that I saw to it that every prize night, nobody snatched the prize for French away from me. I had such a love for that language because of Mr. Ravi. Then Mr. Daniel, who is still working here. And then Mr. Murthy, Ms. Sudha, Mr. Chandrasekhar, who's in US, Mr. Roland, who's in US, and then Mr. Gopinath, who is working in Erode. I happened to be a chief guest in his school too. And about Roland, I remember an incident when he was taking computer science in 8th for us. Actually, computer science came to us when it was first introduced when we were in 6th standard. And our teachers were Ms. Sania Khan and Ms. Mirza Khan, whom we cannot forget for the reasons best we know. And then in Roland, when we had a computer class, he used to ask us, how much marks will you get before giving the papers? And then each one used to say, so if you get marks lesser than that, he'll say, I'm going to give you that much beatings. So everyone used to say 45, 50 like that. It was out of 50. But me, being myself as always, I told, I'll get 47.5. And when he came to give me the paper, it was just 47. He told, your hands out. I told him, sir, let me just recheck my paper and give it. And then I got the paper, rechecked it, and it was exactly 47.5. It was just by fluke, but anyway, I still remember that event. So these were the memories with the teachers. Then coming to our principals, first we had Bro Anthony Padua, then we had Bro Paul, then for a long time we had Brother Joseph Lewis. Brother Joseph Lewis, whom none of our batchmates or none of our schoolmates from that period will never forget. He had taught us so many things. The way to use the cutlery. Today, whenever you go out to a restaurant, the way we finish our meal, the way we place our cutlery, everything was because he strongly said and he made us sure that we followed it. But then too, we had our other tricks. Like before he could come, we used to tear the chapati, put in the plate and immerse it with gravy and then use the thing. But those were the days. Like say, you can't find a Montfortian outside just by his English, the way he behaves, the way he uses his cutlery, the way he finishes meal. These were all taught during Brother Joseph Lewis' time. And how he made us practice the handwriting, but still, that was one thing which I never learned. And then he used to take everybody into confidence. That time I remember, our annual school fees was just rupees 28,000. He wanted to increase it to 32,000 by 4,000 rupees. But he had a consultative process. He came to all the classes. It was not a matter. He could have just announced it through the circular. But he came to each and every class. He took all the students into confidence. He explained to them why we are increasing the fees, what are the expenses that have been incurred. And then, so those were the things which he taught us, which we now have a consultative process in whatever we do. So Brother Joseph Lewis was there. And after them, we had Brother Selvanathan and Brother Augustine Novello was there, followed by Brother George Valiel. And to remember about our brothers, Brother Joseph is over here. He was one of the most cordial and friendship bro that we could ever have. If you do well in sports, he used to take the boys down for movies. He used to see that we have food in good restaurants. There was such a very jolly time, and it is very gracious of him to have him here this evening with us. Thank you, Bro Joseph, for being with us. Then the other brothers were there. Brother Wilfred, he was our treasurer. He used to come every month with our Montfort chits. We used to have the plastic money. 20 rupees used to be the highest amount. And we used to be waiting for him so that we can go to the canteen and we can spend. Brother Wilfred, Brother John of the Cross was there. Then Brother Varghese was there. He was in charge of sports. Brother Devasi he used to take very good photographs and he was this thing. And then a lot of other brothers too were there. So this was how our life in Montfort had gone. Montfort has created just social justice in education. The principles of the Dravidian principles, that was when the Justice Party came into being. Simultaneously, Brothers of St. Gabriel too formed, along with the other congregations, they too had come out with this education as a reform. Because, you know, education was only limited to a privileged few. Only a few could access to it. Yercaud was a very small town then. There were no roads that you have now. There were no other facilities. But Brothers of St. Gabriel took the pain to come up with this no road Yercaud, come over here to this hillock, create a school over here, and give education to all. So just as Justice Party and then later Tandai Periyar, how they had reformed for social justice, the same cause was done over here by Brothers of St. Gabriel at Montfort School. Because over here, what we do is social equity. That is, we have social justice in the school. Till now, believe me friends, of my friends who have studied in Yercaud when we were studying, or now, I do not know the caste, community or the race of my friend. And that was what Montfort had taught us. It's a different jungle out there, which is, you will have to fight. It's survival of the fittest. But Montfort has taught us to be fit. Montfort has taught us to be over smart. Montfort has taught us to be street smart. And that is what has brought us along this journey. So we have so much of good qualities that Montfort has always taught us. It was not just the social justice of caste and creed, it was also of the secularism, which is today a very rare thing. So even though there are so many religions, the Montfort brothers have seen to it that all are being treated on a secular line according to the constitution, and this has always been upheld here at Montfort, and a big thanks to that. And coming to our food, nothing will go without saying things about Montfort School food. The food that we used to have in Yercaud in our Montfort School, when we used to go to a home for our holidays, every one of us used to say, this is not like how we used to have in Montfort. The food used to be so good, so make it like Montfort. There are some special things only Montfort kitchen had given us. It was those Saturday morning, the scrambled egg green curry, which I don't think you get it anywhere else in the world. Then there was the full chicken, the roasted chicken, and the birthday party, tomato dipped full chicken. And the dosas, which even the Saravana Bhavan can't give you. It was for 10 rupees then. It used to be such crispy and long dosas. We had such good food over here, we'll never forget. And in the canteen, we all used to have a big craze for Maggie, which I still have, and which has also come to my son Shwitin and my daughter Shwanita. They still, in school we used to fight for those Maggies, and all those traditions still exist. And we used to have a good time during the scouts, the NCC, and the tournaments, the sports, the team camaraderie, and everything. It was all a bonding spirit which has brought us together. And coming to my MP, in this same school in Mayfield, from class 5th, every Sunday we used to have letter writing. My parents and my sister still have that letter where I have written, I would become MP one day. And of course, I moved towards that goal. I first finished my studying doctor. I became a radiologist. And then my goal was always set to be in national politics. And today I am here in front of you as a member of parliament. And I am ranked as the #1 MP according to various sources in Tamil Nadu for have gone to the parliament 100%. That is, I have not missed a single day in parliament in the last 4 years. For having raised the most number of questions, more than 354 questions, for having participated in more number of debates, in more than 66 debates, and for having moved a number of private member bills where I voiced out for the marginalized, the discriminated, and for the needy. This all, I think, a big attribution should be to Montfort School for having got me this far. So what I would like to say to the students of Montfort, see, this is the best part which you are having, which you will enjoy, Montfort can give you. There is no other school which I can think of which has a stronger alumni than Montfort. We Montfort friends in our batch, we meet up every 6 months once. So this friendship See, when you go to college, when you go to other places, it will slowly disintegrate. But this is the best part of your life. Enjoy your life and have the values. Be very ground to earth, be simple, be humble, say as many thank yous, say as many sorries. And a Montfortian will always stand out from the crowd. And that is what as Montfort has always taught us. And I would also like to thank my friends who have come over here and been with me. I'd like to thank Jay's Job, who has come from Bangalore. He worked in one of the topmost IT, HP, and now he's in the drone aviation, which assists the government. And my dearest friend Kannan, who was the Gabriel House captain and who's the top decision maker in export garments to Europe. My very close friend Shivagu Priyan, who was the regional manager of ICCI Bank. Mail Sami, very close friend, who is a very successful businessman from Pallipalayam. Prem Chanda from Salem, who is one of the real estate and top builders in Coimbatore, Salem, and Mangalore. Then Arun, who works in a top IT field. Senthil, who owns Paravas Ulagam from Salem. John Theophilus, our Patrick House captain, who owns a coffee estate in Yorkard. Jnaneshekar, who owns a very successful NGO in Yorkard. Joseph Lewis from Kerala, who owns a rubber factory and they export. Then Shakti Alagappan, who is from Tanjavur, who is the correspondent of a school called Blossom in Tanjavur. And there are many other friends. Devasanadapati from Uthangarai, who owns a petrol bunk and a very successful theatre. I think I have covered all my friends. Okay, so these are the friends who have come in a very short notice. It is not even 10 days that we have organized and we have managed to come over here. And I would also say, would like to give a social message, though this might be the platform or might not be the platform, but in today's world of social media, any message can go viral or the message can be spread across. My wife, she was addressed as Senthil Kumar over here. And I'd like to say that she is just Shobhana. She's just as how I am Senthil Kumar. So when we married, we took a very conscious decision that she will have individual characteristics of her own. Just as after marriage, I was not called Senthil Kumar Shobhana. So she too will not be called Shobhana Senthil Kumar. Because just as I say in Parliament that I don't address people by their caste names, their surnames. I have said in Parliament, in the House, that I will address the Prime Minister only by Narendra and not by his caste name Modi. Because people should be treated according to their humanity. You shouldn't know what caste a man is. That is what Tandai Periyar and Montfort School has developed, and we are. So, talking about women liberty, women equality, women is a characteristic of her own. She should not be, according to me, she should not be given a surname of her husband. So she is called B. Shobhana, that is Balraj Shobhana. And I would also say everybody that let everybody have their own individual characteristics and always be yourself, be you, the world will adjust. நீங்களா இருங்க, உலகம் தன்னை மாற்றிக்கொள்ளும். இந்த வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்த அனைவருக்கும் என் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.